Alright, stop the intro. I got a video to start here. Jeez, the nerve of these editors. Now before we begin, I want to make note of the fact that this list is all based on my personal opinion after lots of analysis, review, and comparisons. And this also will not be including legendary Pokemon because everybody already knows that it takes zero efforts for them to eviscerate and murder you on sight. Now with that being said, like and subscribe for more, and above all else, please enjoy the video. Ghost type Pokemon, the most famous of all Pokemon for delivering fear, anguish, and terrible fates onto people and Pokemon in their world, and would do even more extreme damage if they were in ours. That's why I'm afraid of them. So I've taken the task of compiling the top 3 most dangerous, deadly, and frightening Ghost type Pokemon that you would be forced by all means to never willingly or even accidentally encounter one in the wild. Attempting to find and especially catch them would be massive risk, so please tread carefully. I'm talking like we're in the Pokemon world right now. Please remember, this is all opinions. If you have others in yours, please just leave them in the comments below. Now let's get on with this. For the number 3 spot, we have Dusclops, the Beckon Pokemon. He's my favorite Ghost type Pokemon. That has nothing to do with this list, so I don't know why I just said that. Beckon meaning using bodily gestures to make someone come near or to follow. That nickname, you should know that he would be trouble. Now he has a primarily ghastly body with no physical attributes really, with the exception of his hands and feet and the fire inside his body, which is known to be either its eye or spirit. Nobody really knows. They just die before they get a chance to get that far and speculate. Not too tall, not too big, but the trick lies in his tactics, in his body itself. Like aforementioned, the abdomen of Dusclops itself is transient and his inside is hollow except for that one flame. Keep in mind, Dusclops is to not be trusted. Not only is he intelligent enough to sometimes allow himself to be captured by a trainer to make himself strong enough to overpower them, but his macabre movements with his hands and waves of hypnosis release when you look into his eyes will be your demise. It will be over for you. That's it. You're done. Dusclops will literally pull you into the abyss that is his body and trap you as his enemy. You know, now that I think about it, that sounds a lot like Imperfect and Semi-Perfect Cell was. But first, let's think a little bit deeper. Let's talk about why. Let's talk about the why of him being dangerous. He does have the ability to move through anything like some Ghost type Pokemon, but he doesn't really need to. Now that I think about it, he gains the trust of people to deceive them. And the Dex entries, all you have to do is just look at them. You just need to look into his eyes, and that could be the end for you. You're forced to do his bidding. Either that or you're just gone forever. And abusing his trust over people is exactly what humans are known for being lured by, like the trust. A lot of people can't trust others, but the ones that do, they just end up getting destroyed anyway. And the ones that he doesn't gain the trust of, he'll just body you. Now this next bit of info may be a bit intense, so here's a small warning for all of you ahead of time. Dusclops is based on the Japanese Chochin Obakes, or lantern spooks. The Chochin Obake do not wish to cause harm, only mischief among humans, once being tools that are desperate to be used by men. So desperate for use, the Chochin Obake who don't get it will only let off a faint visible light instead of a bright light because of the flame. They will attack and rape men every night unless they are used to illuminate the darkness. Yeah, that's pretty wild. This is what definitely sealed the deal for Dusclops to be on the list. I was a little bit hesitant at first. He's my favorite, so I just wanted to see if he had what it took. And at first, I wasn't really too sure. But then once I saw this, I was like, there's no way. There's no way I can't with that kind of backstory. There's just no way. Now this was a Pokemon that I frankly did not by any means expect to make it onto the list, and Palossand was just enough to make it onto the list. The number 2 spot though, number 1, he's special. Number 1 is special. I got y'all with that one, but let me talk about Palossand for a second. Literally the sandcastle Pokemon, designed to be a giant sandcastle, but the windows and tunnels inside of it are what kind of like makes the whole eyes and mouth image of him, and there will give Palossand its really kind of like spooky look. It's not just the look that makes me know immediately that I would want to stay away, but it's like, I guess I could say every bit of him strikes fear to me. I'll get that in a second. Allow me to explain. This Pokemon's grains, each individual grain of sand has a mind of its own, basically meaning Palossand can control each one of its grains of sand, all the millions of grains of sands, to do whatever it wants you to do. And how does it decide to do that? By making physical contacts, keep in mind physical contact with adults, and controlling them in order to get them to build it more sandcastles that boost its defense, disguise, and alluring capabilities. Oh, and if you see a small shovel sticking out of the sand and nothing else, that's just Palossand's radar for searching for its next prey, so you may or may not want to dip ASAP. Now Palossand wouldn't be so scary or dangerous if it wasn't for a couple things: its extreme travel capabilities, its trapping, and its motivation for doing so. Now first, let's talk about the trapper. Like I said before, Palossand can control its sand grains, control adults to make its castles, but that isn't exactly all the details. Whenever more castles and defense are made for it, its power to curse and ease to control anyone to do anything grow as well. He doesn't trap you forever or steal your spirit away like Dusclops does. Palossand just straight up brutally murders you in one of the most painful ways possible, draining you of your vitality or your energy. The worst part is it doesn't kill you first. Palossand will not kill you first to make it as painless as possible. He will keep you alive through the entire process, the entire time. Palossand is a savage, and beneath Palossand are the masses of old and dried up bones of its prey. Oh, and you know what? Not that I think about it, did I forget to mention Palossand preys on small baby Pokemon? Those poor innocent creatures. They didn't do anything to deserve that. Do you know how much small Pokemon and baby Pokemon it would take to satisfy a Palossand? Think about that for a second. The comparison between Palossand and small Pokemon, maybe not as drastic, but I'm thinking it's more of on the whales to krill amount. And whales eat thousands and thousands and thousands, maybe even millions of krill at a time. So that should tell you how much small Pokemon Palossand has to eat over time in order to generate more and more energy for itself. And who knows, maybe some of the children that wander off and get lost may suffer the same cruel fate, which is that's just terrible. I don't even want to think about that. Oh, I completely forgot. The essence of the Pokemon that Palossands eat, that is what creates more Sandygast to be born. So that's pretty much what they could say their motivation is. Palossand, they don't breed, they just have to eat, and the essence of those Pokemon that they ate is what creates more Sandygast to be born. I already said he was a savage once. I would not want to deal with this Pokemon. I already don't like going to the beach, but this would make me stay away from all costs. And that kind of brings up another bit about Palossand that I'll have to get into and why he's number 2. He's number 2 for a reason. I'll get to it. He traps you in a sandstorm that allows him to creep up on his opponents without much warning to steal energy away. And I don't really think I need to go into much detail about this, but I'm just gonna give the example anyway. Imagine starving. It's like you feel so weak and you feel out of energy, and it just comes in waves and waves of pain. Your energy slowly going away and more with each passing second. Palossand makes the same fate for you, except he will finish you off. The sandstorm brings to the extreme reality of why I fear this Pokemon and the danger it brings if it actually existed. And for me to explain why, I need to get a little simple here. What is sand? It's a combination of different rocks and minerals that are broken down and mixed together, meaning Sandygast and Palossand aren't just restricted to beaches. Palossand can be anywhere that kind of stuff is. Roads, in the dirt, outside of your house, sidewalks, streets, caves, mountains, everywhere. Is that they're mainly on the beach because they have an extreme excess amounts. All places where minerals can be found and created in a sandy form is a home for these horrible creatures. There's no need to phase through objects like most Go type Pokemon when you can, well, be anywhere already and create yourself anywhere, or allow more your offspring to be created anywhere. One wrong step, literally, and oops, you might have just stepped on a Sandygast and well, ouch, I'm dead. Jesus Christ, I didn't know this Pokemon was that bad. Gen 7, why you gotta do this to us, man? I didn't expect that. Oh, we've gotten to the number 1 spot. Depending on how you look at this number 1 spot will either be massive respect or a little bit too cliche. I'm thinking that some people might think it's a little bit more cliche, but I think he is well deserving. I think this is the perfect candidate. I was gonna do 5, but that was hard, so I just narrowed it down to 3. And I think the number 1 has to be, without a shadow of a doubt, is the legend Haunter himself. A Haunter is a very basic looking Pokemon. Purple, you know, in the shape of an upside down triangle with floating hands. Not too intimidating with design, check. Creepy personality, nah. Undesirable intentions though, yeah. As depicted in the anime, Haunter is in fact a Pokemon that loves to joke around and prank humans as well as other Pokemon because it's bored from, you know, just being dead. It's even told in the Pokemon Stadium Dex entry that if you trip and fall when there's nothing around, it's probably just a Haunter, you know, playing tricks on you and stuff like that. Oh, wait, I just realized I already told you his most lethal aspect. You didn't catch it? his jokes and pranks. This Pokemon is similar to Dusclops with its beckoning nature, but he isn't as forceful as Dusclops. Dusclops has to entrance you, and the way that Haunter baits you is through your frustration, your anger, or your curiosity, which in many cases, some dare to say is even stronger than a force of hypnosis, which can be broken. He uses the fault of human nature to reel you in by the string before you, well, let's just say you might be coming home a little late that night. See, I wouldn't even have considered putting Haunter at the list if it wasn't for his attributes in carrying out these actions. 1. He can slip through anything with ease, like many ghost types, but unique to his evil line, they could possess other objects, and kind of in the way that Cappy does, except they literally enter the item themselves. Most ghost types just have like psychic control, which is definitely strong, but no ghost type Pokemons have that iconic and keen sneaking and invisibility like Haunter, Gengar, and Ghastly with their possessing power. 2. All that's required of this Pokemon to end your life with only a lick. The actual data of the move lick doesn't need to paralyze you, and the anime does present this well, but if the move were shown realistically, it would have unique effects if used by Haunter. Haunter's tongue is actually made up of a very highly dangerous and obviously poisonous gas. This isn't like most creatures. I'm gonna break it down for you. Haunters are more like poison tree frogs, for example, which are coated in a toxin that will affect you just by any touch. You have no choice about that. Whereas snakes, I guess I should say Arbok, have the ability to choose whether or not they can inject venom. Think about that for a second. If lured in or random Haunter comes out of absolutely thin air, dead at night, and licks you, that's death right there. If he just feels like destroying you, you won't be able to sense a Haunter approaching. You won't be able to see it approaching. It could turn invisible, and all he will have to do is touch you with his tongue, and that's it. He doesn't even need to do a full lick. He just go and stop mid, and then this is, in my opinion, it's more dangerous than Palossand's control or widespread ability with sand. His is still technically based on if sand is somewhere. Dusclops, he's a little bit overcomplicated in his way of tripping you. Haunter is just completely blatant about it. He doesn't care. Just one touch of the tongue and just, I'm dead. I never really explain how the tongue works, even though it's kind of self-explanatory. It doesn't kill you immediately. It's not just like an instant death. You basically get put into like some sort of shivering fit, kind of experience extreme convulsions across your entire body that just will not stop until you pass away from the pain. Look, this in my eyes is way worse than the other two. The others at least give you an option, but Haunter is sadistic and completely straightforward. Now, it is imperative, if these Pokemon were real, that you do not approach a Haunter. Do not do it. You probably hear me tapping on my desk, but do not do it. Even in an attempt to catch it, your best bet, pray that it gains liking to you. I know, it may seem like Haunter being number one was a bit melodramatic and maybe a bit tame, but simple and sweet can get the job done just as easily sometimes, and sometimes even more effective. And I find that to be way more lethal and dangerous than anything else when it comes to the nature of ghost types. Whew, that was a lot. That was a lot, not gonna lie. Jesus Christ, that seemed like it took forever, but either way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. In the comments, tell me how it was and what are your 3 most dangerous Pokemon. I like to see suggestions on how I can make this series a little bit better, and leave like suggestions for what the next type I should go over should be. I'm curious what you guys have in mind. Once again, please be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for content of all kinds, and links to my Twitch and Twitter are in the description below, so please check those out. Alright, I appreciate you all checking out this video. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, thank you very much. That means a lot to me. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.